Diaz here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Is President Donald Trump's top counterterrorism advisor, Sebastian Gorka, a member of a Hungarian far-right Nazi-allied group? That's what leaders of the group have told The Forward, a leading Jewish American newspaper. On Thursday, The Forward reported members of the Vitesse Rend elite order confirmed Gorka took a lifelong oath of loyalty to their group, which is listed by the U.S. State Department as having been under the direction of Nazi Germany during World War II. Vitesse Rend was established in 1920 by self-confessed anti-Semite and Hitler collaborator Admiral Miklos Horthy. Questions first emerged about Gorka's ties to the group after the website Loblog published photographs of Gorka wearing a Vitesse Rend medal on his lapel at a presidential inauguration ball January 20th. Like many members of the Vitesse Rend, Gorka has also listed his name with a lowercase v in the middle, Sebastian L.V. Gorka, including during his 2011 testimony before the House Armed Services Committee. Gorka has denied reports of his involvement with the Nazi-allied group, telling Tablet magazine, quote, "I've never been a member of the Vitesse Rend. I have never taken an oath of loyalty to the Vitesse Rend. Since childhood, I've occasionally worn my father's medal and used the V initial to honor his struggle against totalitarianism," he said. If Gorka is a member of the group, but did not disclose this in his immigration application, it could make him inadmissible to the United States under the Immigration and Nationality Act. The Anne Frank Center is calling for Gorka's resignation and says he represents a broader problem of anti-Semitism within the Trump administration. It released a statement. It reads in part, quote, "How many ducks in the Trump White House must walk, talk, and quack anti-Semitically before our country wakes up and sees the greater problem? This administration has staff with shockingly anti-Semitic past, and it's hard to imagine they have nothing to do with the horrifically weak reactions to anti-Semitic hate crimes that we see coming from this administration." The quote read from the Anne Frank Center. This revelation comes as Jewish community centers and synagogues around the country reported another wave of bomb threats over the weekend. The Jewish Community Center Association North America says it's documented 128 incidents at 87 community centers so far this year. For more, we go to Chicago, where we're joined by the reporter who broke the story for The Forward, Larry Cohler-Esses, the Forward's editor for special projects. His report headlined "Exclusive Nazi-Allied Group Claims Top Trump Aide Sebastian Gorka as Sworn Member." Larry, explain what you found.
Well, I worked together with my colleague in Budapest, Lily Baer, and we were going off of some of the work that was done at Loblog and with others, where people noticed that Sebastian Gorka wore the medal of the Vitesse Rend and asked him why, and he said, well, it's a way to honor my father, who spent years fighting fascism and spent years fighting communism. His father was born in Hungary. His parents fled Hungary after the 1956 revolution, and Sebastian Gorka himself was born in London. He wore these medals. He told the press that it was just about his father. And Lily, my colleague in Budapest, was able to find 3 senior members of the Vitesse Rend in Budapest who said, no, he's actually a member. Excuse me, in Hungary. Some were not in Budapest. He's actually a member. And this began to seem very notable because I found that the organization, because of its history, was listed by the State Department in its current Foreign Affairs Manual as a group under the direction, historically, during World War II, under the direction of Nazi Germany. Because of this, the Foreign Affairs Manual listed that there was a presumption of inadmissibility to immigrants who were affiliated with this organization. Now, to be clear, there's a couple of nuances here, and I should be very clear about this. After World War II, under the terms of the treaty with Hungary and the Allies, the Vitesse Rend was forcibly disbanded. But it reconstituted itself outside of Hungary among exiles who were loyalists to Admiral Horthy, the wartime ruler of Hungary, with the same ideals, with the same leadership and the same ideology. And after the fall of communism in 1989, the Vitesse Rend came back to Hungary and reconstituted itself there. It split into 2 factions based on personal leadership, and Sebastian Gorka, we were told by the members of the group, is affiliated with the faction called the Historical Vitesse Rend. We looked a lot at what Gorka himself has written. He's often written in publications. He's written in publications that are notably anti-Semitic. he's partnered to start a political party in Hungary with known anti-Semites from the far-right Jobbik party. But we have not found that he himself has ever said or written anything anti-Semitic. But the question is one about his partners and who he works with and whether he actually is a staunch opponent of anti-Semitism when he works closely with groups like this.
After the website Loblog published photographs of Sebastian Gorka wearing the medal of the Nazi collaborators, Gorka responded in a video posted on Breitbart News.
I'm Sebastian Gorka, and I'd like to tell you a story about my father and my family's history and why I wore a medal that reminds me of what they suffered under the Nazis and under the communists. In 1979, my father was awarded a decoration for his resistance to dictatorship, and although he passed away 14 years ago, I wear that medal in remembrance of what my family went through and what it represents today to me as an American.
Larry Cohler-Esses, if you could respond to what he is saying. This was posted at Breitbart News. He used to work for Breitbart under Steve Bannon, top aide to President Trump.
Right. Well, the Vitesse-Rend has some pretty firm rules. You do not get to wear the medal and use the V initial unless you join, and joining involves taking a lifelong oath, oath of fealty to the organization and its principles and to Hungarian nationalism, which is the organization steeped in. We spoke with a senior member of the group who took note of the V that he used both on his doctoral dissertation in Hungary and when he testified before Congress. And he said, of course, no V without the oath. So under these terms of the organization, if he was trying to honor his father, he was dishonoring the rules of the organization that his father was honored by. I cannot read his mind. I was not in Hungary, but we then found 3 separate sources in the organization who said he did take the oath. He was initiated in the formal initiation ceremony into the organization. So,
Larry, if Gorka was a part of this organization and he didn't disclose it, when he came to this country, he wasn't born in the United States. What does that mean?
It means that his status as an American citizen and as a legal immigrant could be undermined. I'm not an expert in immigration law, but in our reporting, we spoke to Bruce Einhorn, who was an immigration judge for 17 years. He now teaches immigration and nationality law at Pepperdine University. And perhaps most importantly for this unique situation, before that, he was Deputy Director of the Justice Department's Office on Special Investigations. This was the unit in the Justice Department charged with finding and deporting Nazis and members of other extremist groups who got into the United States by lying about or hiding their background. And he told us that someone who is asked, as you are asked, in these applications for immigration and citizenship about the organizations you joined, and you don't write it down, is vulnerable to reversal of their legal immigration status or their citizenship status. He told us that there would be defenses for Gorka if he was prosecuted, but as a prosecutor with OSI for that many years, he said, this is a case that I would take up. It's a legitimate case, and it would be a challenging one, but it's a winnable one. So that is the state of the technical legal arguments involved, but they all spring from the fact that he was obligated, if he was a member, to disclose it at the time of his immigration and citizenship application.
Now, David Duke has defended Sebastian Gorka on Twitter, writing, quote, "How is Sebastian Gorka a Nazi? The man is not only pro-Israel, he is also pro-Jewish. Strange time to be alive. They've truly lost it," David Duke wrote.
Yes. Well, there is a phenomenon that we have commented on in the forward where you have people who, because of the role Israel plays in the Middle East and because of their bias against Muslims, they like Israel. And yet, domestically, they can be anti-Jewish. It is possible to be anti-Semitic and pro-Israel. It's a phenomenon that's emerged. I don't know if Gorka is that. As I said, we have never found that Gorka wrote anything anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish. What we found are these troubling associations. He said in his White House official statement that it was absurd and outrageous for anybody to say that he was anything other than opposed to anti-Semitism. I don't know how you define opposition to anti-Semitism, but partnering with a group like Vitesse Rand and with former members of the far-right anti-Semitic Jobbik Party would exclude many definitions of being opposed to anti-Semitism.
Larry Cohler-Esses, I want to thank you for being with us. Larry is the Forward's editor for special projects. We'll link to your piece, Exclusive Nazi Allied Group Claims Top Trump Aide Sebastian Gorka as Sworn Member. And that does it for our show. A very happy birthday to Ariel Boone. Democracy Now! Is produced by Mike Burke, Dina Guzder, Noreen Sheikh, Carla Wills, Laura Gottesdiener, Sam Alhoff, John Hamilton, Robbie Karen, Hani Massoud, Sharina Nadura, Andre Lewis. I'm